These tomatoes are for you. They are huge. They taste wonderful. They're great for someone who has high blood pressure because they already have a salty taste to them. Hi guys, today is May 27th. I'm in zone 5 and these 2 black creme starts have been gestating for 14 days. I'm in Northwest Ohio. I've got one here and I've got some here. Hi guys, it is June 18th. What I do want to point out to you with black cremes is you will first see the first leaves here, and then the next set doesn't really look like a true leaf. It looks more like a potato leaf to me. And then the third set will be what looks like a traditional tomato leaf. And I went ahead and I have trimmed the bottom part of that. And you can see we're starting to get some heads right here. So that is exciting as well. Beautiful. Okay, today is July 5th. And you can see I've already done some trimming. I've got a sucker back there, right back there. And I need to come out here and do some more trimming already because it's been super hot, super humid. They love that. And when they love something like that, the plants respond in that way. You can see I've got some blooms right here. There's an open jet. Got one here, one there. This one's a little bit shorter. Oh, here we go. Here is the bloom set right in front of me. When this opens up, it's a very beautiful flower. It looks like a mini sunflower to me. You'll probably see it. I'm pretty sure you'll see it. I'm pretty sure I'll be proud of it. We have had gobs and gobs of rain, which doesn't seem to be too bad at all for this area because I've got a lot of drainage. And this is, you can't tell because I haven't mowed the grass, but this is on a little bit of a pitch here. Got some lovely, lovely little tomatoes starting here. This side as well. I don't know why I whisper when I get closer to them. But you can see how they kind of start almost, here we go, on a limb. Here we are. Beautiful. And I've come along and I have trimmed everything and I'm leaving everything to compost in place. Here's the other black creme. Not quite as far along as the other one. And you can see how there's an offshoot here for this stem? These actually kind of grow on these bigger stems that you might be trying to prune off. Don't do that with black creme. Wait until you see the blossoms and the development, and then trim everything below it, which is what I've done today. It gives you a marker of, surprise, I'm going to be a tomato on this branch. Even though with something like this variety, it's solo here. It's not hooked to a branch. Black creme is a little bit different. She's a sneaky one. Or very smart because it's using all of the support of the full limb. Okay, love you. See, we've got some tomatoes starting here. This one over here. Starts green. And over here, here's a good shot of it. So it starts green, just like any other tomato. But that will change colors for us. This one, obviously, I mean, is shorter than this one over here. Don't know why. Planted at the same time. Same seeds. Same amount of sun, really. Don't know. Pruned the same way. It's just how nature works. Hello. July 28th today. Just looking at this black creme out here. And you can see that a lot of this ground cover, it needs to be pulled up. It's starting to take over my little birdie. And here's probably the tallest black creme. Starting to get to where it is surpassing the cage. I do need to come out to my entire row of tomatoes and make sure that the main stems are pushed inside of the cage. Just need to kind of gently fold them in. We don't have to start way at the bottom if they surpass it. If they're out like this, we'll just get them in the next one and have it at least come up here. Because we don't want to break anything. You start way down here, you're going to break your stem. And obviously you don't want to do that. So let's look at this one real quick. And you can kind of start to see the different colors. We've got dark green here. So this is probably going to end up being the dark burgundy or maroon color. And the rest of it will kind of be that really dark red. To me, the tops of these look black and the bottoms of these look maroon. But and the way that they're described a lot is the tops of them are maroon, and I don't really agree with that. They look like a faded out red to me. Oh, I'm sorry, black to me. Mosquito distracted me, and you can see the different colorations right here too. And again, you can see how black cremes are a little bit different. Sorry. They're starting on these stems. Okay? Starting on these stems. Here we go. Here's a flower. They're gonna start on the stems. They look more deceiving. See, right here, they're on this stem. This is how a normal plant kind of looks. But the flower is like maybe right here. Black cremes are a little bit different. So be careful when you are pruning them. Since I've been having so many groundhog issues, I might not be pruning these plants as much as I usually do, because I really don't want to make it easy for the groundhogs. It's really just as simple as that. Got a lot of fruit set here. And when they're low-lying like that, I expect to come out almost any day and there'd be a bite taken out of that. Which irritates me to no end. That one's a volunteer. You can see that it doesn't have a very good height on it, but it does have a great fruit set at the bottom. And can you see this one here, how white that is and how pale that is? And definitely it's littler compared to the darkness of this green. And even if you look down here at the next one here, let me get up quick. These ones even look lighter. There's some variation on them. They're lighter. Let me just keep going down the row since we are doing this. My pumpkin's doing well here. And I've got a little growth on it. This is the blue doll. And a little worries. Hopefully this is nothing to worry about here. That blackness. I did pepper everything to detour the groundhogs. You can see it right here. And this one I pruned very vigorously. So you can see, yeah, look at all this. I need to come out Look how pale these are. Here you go. Here's a good fruit set here, and look at how pale. They almost look white. Compared to the black crab. Okay, love you. Morning. Today is the 9th of August. We're out here looking at this black crab. And she's getting some pretty nice sized tomatoes in here. Look at that bad boy. And you can see what part is going to be black, kind of like this color here. And then the bottom will get that burgundy red look on it. This was a volunteer here that I just transplanted. This was an indigo series, and I think it's interesting that these will start off with the color on top, and then this will change to that burgundy color. So as this goes along, you can see and compare how these cherry tomatoes are going to look next to the black creme. Those are no longer going to be green. Those are going to look like a blackish sort of purple and a burgundy bottoms. And I picked all of them out here that you can't see that anymore. But we'll see it as time goes by. We'll do that again. And they're coming up over their cage. This one's a little bit behind, and it's sort of a little flimsy of a cage. Having it right next to this concrete is nice. I mean, it's a nice shallow little area that you can actually put a whole lot of produce in. And there's the carrots that I overwintered. And volunteer tomatoes down here as well. I don't know what they are. And look, this is probably the best one up here. Look at how far that is over the cage. And here I've got a gorgeous pumpkin starting here so I can utilize the ground. I did mow the lawn and remulch this with the grass and the nitrogen. And went ahead and sprinkled all the water on there, got closer, and you want to pull it away from here, and then you kind of create a little bowl, and then you really want to concentrate your watering here. But when it's freshly cut, you want to water the whole thing so that you can leach all that nitrogen down into the ground, not just in the bowl, because that nitrogen is kind of staying. You want the full benefits. You just did the work. I cut it without the bag so that when I am mowing, I can really mow over that 2 or 3 times as much as I want. And I can pick out where I knew the weedy parts were and not do anything there. So if you're going to do all that work and then rake it up, you need to go ahead and sprinkle all this in, water it in good, hose it down. You can see I did a chop and drop here. That's all going to go back into the soil as well for your nutrients. And see, you can see how I've got this bowl type effect that goes around the plant. So once this has died off, and it does look like it's died off, but this is less than a week, so I will keep watering all of this grass here for maybe the next 2 or 3 waterings. After that, I'm just going to go for the bowl, and now this just becomes mulch, weed prevention, and water retention, not so much a source of nitrogen at that point. And here's my beautiful birds. I garbage picked those. Here we go. Here's a better shot. Look at that. Look at that. Black cremes, like I said, are some of my favorites. And I did go through here because it looked like the growth was a little bit stagnant. They weren't turning. Either they weren't turning or I was impatient. And this is curled up, so I should probably come in here and possibly cut that one. But when they feel like they're stuck, add the nitrogen and trim them. And don't be stingy with the water. Oh, what I started to say, the concrete. I think there's some concrete into the soil that prevents me from putting this cage all the way down. It always seems to catch on something hard down there. Hi guys, it is the 18th of August and I've got 2 black cremes here that I can pick that are definitely pretty ripe here. But this being the first one. Can you see that cush as I take my hand here? It indents underneath that line. This is the pepper. See that? Pepper. To keep the groundhogs off. But this one is definitely ready to pick, and it came off pretty dang easy. Let's look at this pepper for a minute. Pepper. This tomato with pepper on it. We had a lot of rain, buckets of it going at certain times. And that's what's caused this little cracking here. Extreme rain has done that. But that's okay. It's not like that's diseased or anything. You can just take a paring knife and take that little line off if it bothers you. Or that's where you can make your cut for your tomato sandwich. Now can you see how beautiful the striations are? I'm going to set this down on the side for just a minute here. There we go. Can you see how beautiful the striations are of the green in the tops here? Let's look at the bottom. Okay. Not quite a bright red. It's got a great cush on it though, great cush. And the top will be a little bit harder, especially in these green spots. Definitely where you anticipate a tomato is going to be harder, which is right there where it starts at the bloom. Now let's look at the other one real quick. Yep, see how that just indents there? That's what you're looking for. All tomatoes really, you're looking for that cushion, and you can see some of the shininess of that hidden tinge of a little bit of Merlot or black. And yes, I have peppered these too. Keep those groundhogs off. There we go. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous tomato. What I do need to do is come out here and take the other ones off, because these groundhogs, they're just gonna get them. Look at this one here. Look at how huge that is. Take my hand here. Oh yeah, that is a great size one. And we've got more coming up and developing. Some tiny ones up top. All right, that is it for the day. Thank you. Hi guys, today is August 19th. The previous video was from the day before, but I am out here pruning these black creme tomatoes. And I had showed you before, or told you before, about how big these blooms get. They look like, some of them actually can look double this, but they look like a little mini sunflower. They are definitely bigger than some of the other little blooms that you can see on other varieties of tomatoes. Here we've got a nice little one developing here. Here we go with these tomatoes. These grow right on the stem. So it makes it very difficult for you to know which ones of these is it safe for me to cut off at this point? Everything that I have got underneath this fruit set is safe for me, I consider is safe for me to go ahead and cut off. Everything above this, I'm really not too sure about. So let's look at this here for a second. Since we have a fruit set right here, I would assume, following this stem here, that this can be cut off. I don't see anything growing on it. I don't see anything developing on it. I think we can cut this off. Now, looking at, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that real quick. And I wanna cut this as close to the stem as possible. And I'm just gonna do it with the tip because there's the end of a tomato there. I'm not wanting to gouge up at all to introduce any type of bacteria or infection in here. So, following this stem, here we've got some fruit set down at the bottom, which is actually coming from this stem down here. So following this stem, and here, okay, here's our fruit set here, and here's another fruit set. Anything below this that is not really producing anything like this, I'm just gonna go in here and cut. So a lot of the times with the black creme, it's going to look top heavy here. I don't get crazy because I have no idea what's gonna develop. This you can kind of see. Okay, here's a fruit set here. Here's nothing here. There's nothing here. And now here's a fruit set. And this one almost really looks normal, like a normal, what I consider a normal tomato, to where they're not growing from the actual leaf itself. Let's see if I can find another example of that, not cut off. Because remember, you're cutting this off to where you can redirect the energy into the actual tomato production and not the leaves. This is a great example of this coming in through the leaves that you think you might have to trim. That's where your tomato will develop from. And look, here's what you think is a leaf. So before this fruit set would have started, if you would have got crazy, because sometimes I get a little scissor happy, and taken this off, I would have taken off all of my fruit set. And you can see there's one, and then there's two little tomatoes developing here. So I just want you to be mindful of that. And you can see how big it is, according to my hands. The description that they give the black creme, just down here, 80 days, an unusual Russian heirloom featuring beef steak sized fruits weighing 10 to 12 ounces with unique colors of velvet brown and purple red that turn almost black with sun and heat. Rich, sweet, even salty flavor. Heavy producer, indeterminate. Okay, that's very good. I also have another description which I believe is true, and that is out of, excuse me, Johnny's Seeds. And that is right down here. And I like how Johnny's Seeds actually do this. They give you all of these pictures in comparison. But what I like about this, it's saying it's Russian heirloom. It talks about it combines bold, smoky flavor, good texture with an unusual appearance. Okay, so let's look at the appearance. And it does say that it does maintain its green shoulders. So to me, most of the time I'm cutting off probably about right here to get myself a good sandwich. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of this a lot of the times. but it is going into the I always say chicken, the kitchen scraps, so that I can compost things, and I compost things in place. And if you don't have one of these Williams Sonoma knives for your tomatoes with the 2 pressure points, you should. They are wonderful. I already have my bread over here, pre-mayonnaised, and I'm gonna take the biggest slice I can. The reason why I cut this sandwich was for this tomato sandwich. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this right. And you can see in here some of the green. And look at that. It covers the whole freaking sandwich. You don't have to worry about that slip sliding around on your actual bread. Go ahead and give that a cut. Bring that more into focus. Wonderful. And look, hang on. Look at how thick that tomato is there. It's so funny that a vegetable can like be this meaty, but it is. Everything that they said about the taste itself is 100% true. That's why the black creme is really my favorite for a tomato sandwich. And then I'll just take the seeds and I will smear them. Bring it over here. And I've already pre-labeled them, as you can see, black creme 2000. And I'll just smear them on here. I'll let that dry. And you can see what one of these looks like when I let it dry. Kind of stiff, kind of brittle. I have it labeled up there. And then when you get ready, you just pinch off what you want. Okay, I hope that you have enjoyed our time with the black cremes. One of my favorites for sure. And let's just have a look at the other ones as we say goodbye for the season, in regards to the black cremes anyway. And I hope that you like, and I hope that you subscribe. Hi guys, if you would please subscribe, like, comment. I hope that you will take a chance on the black creme and grow them. They are absolutely fantastic. They are a staple in the garden for me. I simply must grow them each and every year.